times when life just seems so hard, hiking can offer you a sense of peace and calmness. Walking outdoors near trees and flora can help you think clearly and give you a sense of confidence. Hiking allows you the opportunity to enjoy, focusing on absolutely nothing. So next time you feel a headache coming on, grab some friends and go for a stroll. You will feel so much better.
This is Rogers TV York Region, where local matters. The opinions expressed in the following program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Rogers or Rogers TV.
Hi everyone, and welcome to York Region Spotlight, a show dedicated to giving members of our community an opportunity to share their success stories and to discuss important issues. On today's show, we're talking all about martial arts and how self-defense classes can be a new and exciting way to keep active. That's coming up right now on York Region Spotlight. Martial arts such as Krav Maga and karate have been around for years and are one of the most unique ways to stay active. Martial arts is also known to be a great way to teach self-defense, as well as boost your strength and self-confidence. Today, I'm joined by Chris James, who has been studying martial arts since the age of 12 and currently teaches self-defense classes to women's shelters across York Region. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Now, in the prompt, I should have also mentioned that I'm here with Ilan Rosenberg, who is a master of Commando Krav Maga.
First generation master.
What does that mean exactly?
Commando Krav Maga, which is the version that I specifically specialize in, was created by Moni Isaac. Moni Isaac was a special forces commander in the Israeli army.
Wow.
And I'm actually the first person to reach level 8.
Which is, the
top level
Wow.
under Moni Isaac. Myself and 5 others.
That's super impressive and just made me so much more nervous because, as you can all tell, we are actually standing, and usually we are sitting in the first segment of our show because these two lovely gentlemen right here are going to be teaching me some martial arts moves. I'm super excited, super nervous, so let's get this thing started before I actually run off the stage because this is going to be really interesting.
Okay.
All right, guys, so what's the first move you guys are going to show us today?
The first one we're going to show you is a simple choke escape.
Okay.
And when we're talking about choke, we're talking generalization. The most common choke, obviously there's several different ways to choke someone. We're just talking someone's coming up, they grab you, and they're choking you very strong.
Okay.
And usually you have about 3 to 5 seconds before you pass out.
Oh.
And it's a very dangerous situation because then the person can do whatever they want to you.
Oh, that could be
once
really
they're passed
ugly.
out. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'll demonstrate it first.
Yeah.
And we'll show you.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
So I'm going to...
Oh my goodness.
Here we go.
I have to do that?
Yeah.
I have to do that.
I have complete confidence in
Oh,
you.
maybe this wasn't a good idea. Everyone's going to be laughing at me at home. Please don't laugh at me at home. Okay, guys, let me drop this really quick.
All right.
All right.
So Ilan's going to walk you through steps. Come a little forward.
Okay.
So the first thing is, obviously when someone chokes you, no one chokes you with straight arms because then there's no choke.
Right.
In reality, someone's not going to just put their hands. They're going to come with force and power, and when they force and power and push you, that'll take you off balance. If you're off balance, you can't do anything.
I was going to say, I feel very not secure right now
Right.
standing this way. So what would I do to get balance?
So the first thing you do is called the L squat. So go in an L position.
Okay.
And you're going to squat down. Keep your hands up to protect your face.
Like
So
this.
what you've done now is you've created some distance. You've made the choke weaker.
Okay.
Because you've opened his arms up. Because remember, the choke's not strong.
Right.
At this particular point, you're going to cat strike him 4 or 5 times in the nose and the eyes with your palms, just like this.
Okay, I'm going to take my ring off for this because I feel like I might bruise him. So let's take that off for a sec.
All right.
All right, so start from the beginning up to here. So
Push.
go back.
Cat
and
strike him and escape.
Good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And the reason you have to make some distances, you have to make sure you've done some damage.
That's
Right.
If you're hitting him in the nose and the eyes, you have the possibility, obviously nosebleed, definitely tearing from the eyes, or if you actually get some fingers in the eyes, you also have the ability that's going to tear him. That gives you time to escape.
Okay,
and that's
which
the
I
most,
would like.
Well, that's the most important thing as a female. You don't want to sit there and fight with him. He's stronger than you.
Yeah.
Right.
And eventually he's going to win. So you want to do quick damage. In Commando Krav Maga, we call it, if you first can disengage, escape without any action, that's the best. But if you have no choice, you're going to engage, do maximum damage, minimum time, and then get get away as
Now,
fast
I have
as
a quick question
possible.
for you. Before we keep on going with the other demonstrations, what's the difference between Commando Krav Maga and other forms of martial arts such as karate and jiu-jitsu and things like that?
Well, other martial arts are traditional martial arts. They're sports oriented. Traditionally they were martial warfare. So they were actually, you learned to kill, you learned to do everything because it was in war. Once guns and everything came along, hand-to-hand just wasn't needed as much. They didn't want to lose their heritage, so they created the martial art as a sport. So they're sports. They're with rules. There's referees. There's a lot of things that you can't do.
So
You wouldn't be allowed to do
bow
that.
to Chris.
Exactly. You don't do that in the street.
And in
I
a
didn't think
sparring
so.
match, you actually could not strike him in the eyes. It'd be illegal.
Oh.
On the street, it's about survival.
Of course.
And that's the most common thing. That's why if you pay attention to most martial arts, even UFC, which is, the MMA, the mixed martial arts, everyone thinks it's the street. It's not. It's yes, it mixes different martial arts, but it's within the rules. Okay. You don't see them striking the eyes. You don't see them hitting the groin. There's a referee. It's always one-on-one. So there's rules and limitations.
Okay.
And that makes it a sport, and this makes it survival. And here, you're here to survive. Yeah. You do your technique, you get out of it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you want to try that again?
Sure. Okay. Here we
Full
go.
speed.
Here we go. So I'm going
All right.
to push into you. Good. Good. 2 steps. Good.
Retreat.
Yeah.
Nice. Good
Now I'm
job.
going to bow. I feel like I hurt you. All right. So
well
what's
done.
another one you can show us?
Another one would be the bear hug.
Okay.
We have a minute and a half, I believe. So let's get
Okay,
this
so
going.
the bear hugs very quickly. Someone comes and they're very strong. Me as a man who's strong, sure, I can do this because I'm strong. But she's not that strong, so we got to keep it simple. So basically it's this. And escape. And of course, if I wanted to at that particular point, once I do this, I can also do some cat strikes as
I feel like they would not expect that at all.
Never.
No.
We're going to run that through with you slowly. Come on
Okay.
forward.
Oh, God. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay.
Okay. Very, very loose hug.
So headbutt.
Oh, come on. Okay. So headbutt first.
Headbutt because
Okay.
it makes his
Like
pelvis
this,
come forward.
and then
Superman.
push forward.
Excellent.
And then retreat.
Good. That was
Retreat,
excellent.
or even a couple of cat strikes if you want on the way
I
out.
feel strong.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. Okay. Well, I want to see something a bit more advanced, if you can.
Sure.
Just with the two of you, because I don't trust myself with an advanced move yet. I still
Sure.
feel very beginner.
So part of Commando Krav Maga, we also have what's called the TOP, the Total Officer Protection Program.
Okay.
Because, yes, for as a civilian, you got to escape. But for us, if you're a policeman or security, you need to take a little more control.
Right.
So this is just one of the ways.
Here.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I'm really happy that I did not decide to try that one.
Yeah.
Oh my
Pretty
gosh,
intense.
that is amazing. Well, I'll be honest with you. For someone of my size, I think this is something really good for us to learn because it's quick, easy moves that can get you out of a situation that could get really bad if you don't know how to handle it, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you guys so much. That was
pleasure.
amazing. We're going to be right back talking with Chris and Ilan all about Commando Krav Maga and other versions of martial arts. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Cool.
Seneca's Workforce Skills Centers assist individuals with employment and training opportunities, supporting employers through various incentives and services in the communities of Newmarket, Vaughan, and Scarborough. For more information, visit us at workforceready.ca.
This week on The Upright Male, I do my best Chuck Woolery impersonation as we turn the upright male into the dating game. Watch The Upright Male Thursdays, 10 p.m. only on Rogers TV.
An important reminder from Rogers. For cable customers whose TV is connected directly to their analog cable outlet, analog versions of select channels will continue to be phased out. Simply order a free digital adapter to continue to receive all of the TV channels you currently enjoy with improved digital sound and picture quality. Just connect the adapter to your cable outlet and TV. To order your free rental adapter, please call us today or visit rogers.com/digital adapter.
Some people walk for a loved one on dialysis. Some participate because they need a transplant, and others because they've had a transplant. Whatever the reason, everyone that walks in the Kidney Foundation's Kidney Walk raises awareness about kidney health and organ donation and raises funds to support research and programs to ease the burden of kidney disease. This September, you can take steps and inspire hope for people in your community living with kidney disease. For details and locations, visit kidneywalk.ca.
Spotlight. Today's show, we're talking all about martial arts and self-defense. We're here with Chris James, Ilan Rosenberg. We're also here with Jay McDonald, who is Chris's assistant when he teaches self-defense classes. So thank you for coming on as well. If you're just joining us, in our last segment, we did some demonstrations, and apparently I did really well. And I'm very happy that I did well because those moves were not as easy as they look. But once you get to do them a couple of times, they're actually very useful. So hope you guys got to watch that. If not, you can check it out during the rest of the week when this show reruns. Believe me, you don't want to miss it. All right, guys. So again, welcome to the show. Let's get our conversation started a little bit. But Chris, I've heard from a little bird that you are doing a giveaway here on our show.
Yeah, right now, actually, as well as teaching at women's shelters and group homes, we're actually going to be starting a program where we go to do the one self-defense that high schoolers do, and also in universities and frosh weeks and stuff like that. Right now, we're doing a contest giveaway, though. Any high school student can enter this. If you email JNJ, so that's JANDJCKM @gmail.com, and tell us why you think self-defense is very important, you'll be entered to win 1 week of free self-defense lessons for your whole entire school during your gym class.
You heard it here first, everybody. That is an amazing opportunity. Any students watching that are from York Region, make sure you email that account. I will tweet about it later after the show, just in case you missed the actual email account. So you will definitely have a chance to enter. You'll have free lessons. That is phenomenal, and I think that's really exciting. If I was still in high school, I would definitely do it. All right, guys, so let's get our conversation started a little bit. I want to know from each of you, what made you get into martial arts? What about it drew you in when you first started? If you want to start off, Chris?
I'll definitely start off. I wasn't always as tall as I am, and I got picked on a little bit, and it made me want to retaliate in a physical way, because when I was a kid, I didn't realize that, I didn't realize all the lessons of adulthood, that you don't actually have to fight to achieve, calm and peace. So what I did was I found the first karate instructor that I could find, and I started taking karate, and I took taekwondo. But the more I learned, the less I felt like fighting. The more I knew how to fight, the less I wanted to, and I just felt confident, and I managed to diffuse volatile situations without actually throwing a punch. So,
there you go.
Yeah, it was very enlightening for me.
That's actually, to someone who doesn't study martial arts, it sounds a bit ironic to me that you learned almost, I would say, self-confidence and to be able to have patience with yourself, that if you are in a situation that you want to be violent, that you know how to handle yourself. That's actually very interesting.
Well, the thing that's important about that, what you got to understand, and this actually relates to a lot of the bullying that goes on. People see weakness, and bullies strive on that.
Absolutely.
So if you don't have confidence and they can see that, they're more likely to bully you. So, what Chris says makes 100% sense, because they can see the confidence and they don't see the fear in his eyes. They're more or less likely to try and pick on them.
Look at me for a second. No fear in his eyes, none. And look in my eyes, there's tons. Actually, Ilan, before you keep on touching on that, tell us a bit about yourself, because you, like I said before, you are a first-generation master in this specific study, and you also do stunt coordination for feature films.
I work in a lot of films. I have done stunt coordinating. My specialty is actually fight coordinating. I have done some stunt coordinating, and that's something I look to in the future.
Very good.
But I do work quite a bit on the fight side of the films. So, that's something I really enjoy. And with the Commando Krav Maga and the reality-based systems, the film industry is turning more towards that. They're kind of tired of the, flippy, kung fu-y, running up the walls. It's been done. And they're kind of looking, if you see movies like Taken and The Bourne Identity, it's kind of more to the point, a little more brutal. But it's more like what actually would really happen on the street.
It's more realistic.
It's very realistic. People are tired of, it doesn't happen. You can't run up the wall, throw 3 kicks and flip. It's not realistic. Well, even for the guys who can do it, you can't. It's not going to happen in a fight.
Of course not.
So,
that's heels too.
I think I could.
And I've seen films where they're like doing stuff like that
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
Are we kidding?
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So, that's a passion I have as well. That's how me and Chris actually met, because we both are kind of in the same industry.
Well, Ginny, I want to hear from you because you are Chris' assistant. What's that like, and how did you get into martial arts?
I got in through a friend who was friends with Chris. I heard about the program through her. And I'd never taken any sort of self-defense class before, but I thought it sounded really neat, and it sort of tied in this interesting aspect of self-defense and fitness along with some of my interests I have working with sort of the at-risk population. So it tied in those two together. So I thought it's pretty cool. I got involved with it. And I've only taken a few sessions with Chris, but now I love it, and I want to continue on with either Krav Maga or different forms of martial arts. So
yeah,
really into it now.
I'll be honest with you, I'm most impressed with you. When we were before we started the show, and these guys were rehearsing the different techniques, you were right in there with them, and you held your own. I was like, check out this girl, she's great, and I think that's awesome, and that's something I also want to talk about maybe a bit later in the show, which is like a stereotype of it's more of a male sport for martial arts, but we'll talk about that later. I want to know what you guys think is the most common stereotype about martial arts. And when I say stereotype, I mean a negative stereotype about it.
A negative stereotype about martial arts that I get a lot is when people hear that I do martial arts, they automatically want to spar with me, or they want me to show them something, or they want me to do they want me to like almost play fight with them, and they think that because I do martial arts I'm inclined to fight. Like it's a passion. Like fighting isn't a passion of mine. It's about learning the discipline, learning the art. That's the passion. It's not actually going out and fighting.
For sure.
I don't get more aggression because I do this. I have less aggression because I do this.
Very interesting. That's awesome. What do you think?
Well, myself, I started martial arts because I was raised on it. I was the guy watching all the Run Shaw kung fu movies when I was small. And I've pretty much done every martial art there is in the I ended up really liking the Commando Krav Maga because really it's the only reality-based system out there, and I want to learn something that's going to be useful on the street. No restrictions, no rules, because there is no rules on the street, and Commando Krav Maga is created for that. It has to be very simplistic. It has to be simple for someone who's 100-pound female can do it, because you're
someone who's larger.
And someone who's larger, absolutely. Yeah. If you pay attention to traditional martial arts, which again is great, self-confidence and all that, but there's always a weight class. Yep. Why is there a weight class? Because in your traditional martial arts, with all the rules, the bigger guy, if he has equal skill against the smaller guy, they win. It's all there's to it. And that's not what self-defense in the street's about. It's about being able to survive in the street. It's also not about fighting. It's like you said, it's not about liking and wanting to fight. There's guys who love to go out there, they love to fight. I'm not going to mention I had a person that I know that loved to get into bar fights. And he beat someone up one day, and this person went home, took a knife, and he thought he could, no problem, fight him with a knife, and he's dead now.
Oh my goodness.
So learning how to fight is learning about control.
It's a discipline,
and
100%.
And being safe.
Cool.
It's respecting. It's respecting the dangers that's out there.
And I think that's something a lot of kids really should learn, because like you said about bullying, before we keep on talking about this, I really want to hear from Ginny. What is a stereotype that you think is commonly associated with martial arts?
I found it very similar with Chris. When I told my friends I was doing this, they would sort of throw fake punches at me and see how I could defend them, or they just assumed that it meant I was going to learn how to punch, and that's not really what Krav Maga is based off of, which is something I really like about it. Sort of works, as he was saying, off your instinct, and it just sort of tweaks that a little bit to make it a little more not useful, but effective, I guess.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I found similar to Chris. Just people assume that means I'm going to want to go and punch them in the face, and that's not the case. It's learning more so how to defend myself from it. So.
One of the things I love about Commando Krav Maga...
I actually have to pause for just 1 second, because we do have to go to commercial break, but I'll let you finish your thought when we get back, okay?
All right.
Deal. All right. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Workforce Skill Centers assist individuals with employment and training opportunities, supporting employers through various incentives and services in the communities of Newmarket, Vaughan, and Scarborough. For more information, visit us at workforceready.ca.
Hey, Marlene McPherson here. On the next episode, I'm going to take all this yummy produce, turn it into soup. Soup's on. Marlene's Harvest, only on Rogers TV, Sundays at 6 p.m.
Can you identify the tool that smart boaters carry that can tell you where to go, the best place to spend the night, get assistance fast, and even help you catch dinner? If you guessed a navigational chart, you're correct. While electronic tools are useful, a chart doesn't require batteries and can show you where the safest routes are and the hazards both above and below the surface. In the event of an emergency, a navigational chart provides your position so you can communicate it to search and rescue to get prompt assistance. For cruising boaters, a chart can tell you where the best layover spots and marinas are to put in for the night. For anglers, charts can identify structure and drop-offs, places where the fish like to hang out. To find the navigational chart you need for your boating area, visit Canadian Hydrographic at charts.gc.ca. Get the chart that's right for you and know how to use it. For more information on navigational charts, visit smartboater.ca.
Welcome back to your Region Spotlight. We're talking all about martial arts today. We are here with Chris James, Ilan Rosenberg, and Jenny McDonald. And before we keep going with our conversation, I wanted to quickly mention that Ilan runs an academy for martial arts in Newmarket. So Ilan, tell us a bit about the academy really quick.
It's called the Rosenberg Center for Defensive Sciences. It is the top branch. Underneath it, we are the Canadian Commando Krav Maga Center. So.
That's awesome.
For Canada, everyone who wants to come, that's the main center. We also have RXMA Academy, which is for the kids, and that's all your typical disciplines: karate, judo, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, plus the fun stuff, which I do. I teach the stunt training and the extreme for kids, flipping, mixing with martial arts, all the stuff that you see out there on YouTube kind of right now. So we're right in Newmarket, right off the highway.
It's accessible to everyone watching, so make sure you check it out if you're interested in martial arts, okay? All right, Chris, you had a thought that I cut off before the break, and I apologize. Let's hear what you had to say.
Yeah, one of the reasons I love Commando Krav Maga, like I said, I've done a lot of different martial arts in my time, but the thing I love about Commando Krav Maga more than anything is because it was useful day one. Like I've done, like I said, I did some Taekwondo, and I've also done some Muay Thai, and I've done lots of different, different martial arts, but Commando Krav Maga is the first martial art I've ever taken where I thought what I learned on day one could be useful right away. The first, my first lesson was how to disarm someone holding you at gunpoint. So I learned how to take the gun away from someone and get away safe.
And typically, you will not find any traditional martial arts. First of all, many of them don't even have techniques against guns or even knives. And if they do, you got to be a third dan black belt or four. You don't learn it for like 5-6 years.
Okay.
There are a lot, and this isn't to say that other martial arts aren't beneficial. I feel that other martial arts can be very effective in the street. I've just found personally that it takes a couple years for me to feel comfortable using it to defend myself. Whereas CKM or Commando Krav Maga, I felt day one that the moves that I was learning could be useful right away.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, I want to jump to a different aspect of martial arts, and I'm going to go straight to Jenny for this, because the both of you are very fit, but from girl to girl, I need to work out. And I didn't think that martial arts was a great way to work out, but let me tell you, just by that quick demonstration, I worked up a sweat. Do you find this is a good way to keep your fitness level up?
It's definitely an excellent way to get your fitness. And just going to the classes with Chris, we did just sort of 10-15 minutes at the beginning, and that was... After that, I definitely felt it. But I actually went to one of Chris's class with this guy as the instructor, which, as you can imagine, was pretty tough. And that was probably one of the most physically demanding things I've ever had to do. So it's really good for your cardio. It helps you build your muscles. It just sort of works the entire body. So it's an excellent source of fitness.
The thing that people got to realize is ECF is part of Commando Krav Maga, which is our elite combat fitness. Because in reality, you can be the best fighter in the world. But if you're going to run out of breath in 10 seconds, you better hope you've done your whatever you got to do in 10 seconds or you're dead. So part of our training is tremendous conditioning. There's a lot of conditioning because, again, when you're on the street, what you got to realize is, especially when it's life and death, I mean, it's the same thing in the ring, but you got to times 10 because you go from 100% strength, power, skill, you drop to 30%. Whatever you know, however strong you are, when your life's in danger and your adrenaline and your fear is there, you're going to 30%. And your 30%, your 30% has to be good enough to survive. And we test like that. We do multiple attacks. We'll have them being attacked for 10 minutes. I won't even mark them to the last 2 minutes because I don't care about the first 8 minutes. I want to know, how does he defend himself when he's exhausted? Because that's how he's going to be on the street. He's going to be totally exhausted, weak, and tired, and scared.
So it's about strategizing, truthfully.
Yeah. It's reality. Like, the thing is, we don't take anything for granted. There's no such thing as what if. There's no such thing as Sensei Kori Hisataka said, you punch like this and that's it. What if someone punches like this? What if someone does this to you? So we never say no to any questions. Nothing is a stupid question to us.
Okay.
There's always different solutions. There's different sizes. You know, so we all believe that really we don't believe ourselves to be masters. We all consider ourselves students. Even Moni, who created the system, he still says he's a student, and we're always learning.
And that makes sense, because every situation you're in is completely different. Like you said, you have to know how to react. It's almost like improv, truthfully.
It's also about evolution. Our main saying is evolution or extinction. Commando Krav Maga was developed on evolvement, because martial arts changes. People's fighting changes. People are way more skilled these days than 20 years ago. Everyone's doing Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and grappling. So people, you have to evolve with the world. And a lot of traditional martial arts, they don't want to do that, because they feel you're insulting the old sensei. In our system, we don't believe that. We believe you have to evolve. You have to go, right? The road to construction is always under development.
I actually find that very interesting, and it's also more interesting that you said before that there's 8 levels in Commando Krav Maga. 8
practical levels.
And then there's 2 levels that are theoretical.
9 and 10 is your research and development.
I think that's awesome.
Our level 8s that we have right now work with Moni in coming up with solutions that we haven't created yet. There's always questions and stuff. There's always something out there that let's figure out what would work. And everything we test has to be simplistic. Again, my daughter is 4 feet 10. She's petite, but she's 90 pounds, but she's a wildfire. These guys are afraid of her. You don't want to mess with her.
I was going to touch on that really quick, and Ginny, I want to hear from you. What about girls? Like, I personally, I don't hear many girls go away from martial arts. That might be a stereotype. Do you find that girls can actually hold their own in this sport as well?
Definitely, especially with Krav Maga, because it takes a more defensive approach. It sort of works off that, and I find that after taking this, even just taking the few classes, it really gives you, empowers women. It gives you a lot of confidence, and it really makes you feel like you can defend yourself against big people who are bigger than you.
I love that, and I really like the fact this seems like something any age can try, whether you're a girl or a boy. It doesn't matter what size you are.
Yeah, it really
just try it out.
This system works better. I find the females pick it up better because it's technical. Men will use more strength. And it's hard for them to adjust. A female has to technically be correct. So they pick it up better. I find the females' techniques are better. That's the truth.
But I was gonna say, fitness is a really big part of Commando Krav Maga, but that's not to say any people of any fitness level couldn't take it. We have people who are bigger, smaller, short, tall, really any age too. We're very much we'll tailor it to your pace. We'll try and get you up to the pace that we want you to be at. But we're very much about getting people in of any weight class, any fitness level. I remember when I first started,
I actually had to cut you off because we're at the end of the show. But this is an awesome topic, and we'll hopefully go at this again sometime. I really want to thank all you guys for coming here and promote the fact this is for anyone to try. So make sure you try out martial arts, and you can check out Ilan Rosenberg.
You got time to do our CKM goodbye?
Oh, I don't think we do. We'll do it on Twitter. I want to thank you all for coming on this show. We'll see you next time on Your Crucian Spotlight.
Rogers TV viewer response line at 905-780-7114 or email us your comments.
Babies babies need lots of your loving care and attention for healthy development. Encouraging smiles and smiling back, picking them up when they cry, and soothing them will help to fully develop their young brain. These everyday moments do matter. To help your baby grow and thrive, visit healthybabyhealthybrain.ca. That's healthybabyhealthybrain.ca.
Major mental illness is very much like climbing a mountain.
There's going to be days where you feel like you can't go further. There's going to be days when you're actually feeling like you can't breathe.
Anybody who says this is easy, it's not easy.
Follow the journey of a team from Markham Stouffville Hospital as they climb Mount Kilimanjaro to help conquer the stigma of child and adolescent mental illness. Sundays at 5 p.m., only on Rogers TV.
This is Rogers TV, York Region.
Drive, put your hands on the wheel and drive. That's when you feel you're alive. Turn over the engine and drive.
Welcome to a whole new season of Drive. I'm Vic Simone.
And I'm Amanda Connolly.
And this season we listened to what you guys had to say, and we're going to do a lot more racing. Amanda, tell us about your racing.
You guys are going to take a trip with me to Delaware Speedway in London, Ontario, where I race in the Lucas Oil Sportsman Cup Series. We're going to be doing 100 laps. It's going to be a good time. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
That's fantastic. I'm going to join up with the Canadian Touring Car Championship, and we're going to race at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park for a whole day. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, where else did you go this year?
We took a trip to the Megaspeed Custom Car and Truck Show, and I know you went to the Canadian Motorsports Expo, and I had to miss it. And
I know.
When you watch the episode, you'll see why I'm a little angry that I had to miss that one.
We talked to one NASCAR guy that maybe everybody might want to talk to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, where else did you go?
I went to Crown Rust Control, got to put on a big suit and learn how to rust-proof a car. I also took a visit to AAA Trim Plus and did a windshield install. And what else did you get to do?
Well, I went to CSC Racing Products here, and I tried on some different equipment, and we also watched them build a roll cage in a vehicle. I thought that was pretty cool. We've done a lot more stuff than that. Now, when you see this season, it's going to be different. I hope you all like it, because there's a lot more racing involved. You'll see what happens during a race.
And during two different kinds of racing, oval track and road racing.
Yeah.
So
let's go straight to Top Shop. Today on Talk Shop, we're going to be replacing fan belts on this Infiniti G35. We're going to use original equipment fan belts. That's the only way to go on these things, it seems. We're also going to be looking at the heater hoses and, of course, the radiator hoses. So what we've got here is a typical V6 engine. This is the upper rad hose right here, and it feels okay, not too bad. A little bit of things on hoses. Heater hoses, radiator hoses. Manufacturers recommend replacement every 4 years or 96,000 kilometers. Check